Hey everyone, how are you? Milady and Iris here. And today's topic, we're going to talk about how to develop a growth mindset and develop challenges. And to me, developing a growth mindset is all about curiosity, being curious.
Yes.
If you don't have curiosity, growth mindset kind of sometimes goes by the wayside. So, a growth mindset, two things: curiosity and stopping blaming.
I love
Blaming,
it.
blame has an inverse effect on accountability. So we know that if we're in a growth mindset, we want to look at the problems that come up, but not on who's to blame so much as how do we make it better? How do we grow from this?
That is
Um,
beautiful.
yes, right? How do I take this whatever situation that's happening, getting curious, right? And then not figuring it out, okay, who did? Oh, it was Iris. So Iris, you're gonna pay for it. No. Like that's little kid who broke the glass and now let me yell at you for a second, right? Blaming is just discharging like that discomfort and that pain, and it's not leading to accountability and how do we make it better.
It's not leading
So
to grow.
it's not leading to growth, exactly. So let's look at in a growth mindset way. Let's look at it. How do I grow from this? How do I take this situation, dissect it by being curious about it, and then grow from it instead of being scared of it and pushing ourselves aside or um blaming, like I said before, or staying in it because it's just life and I'm gonna suffer and life is just suffering, right? Like none of those things sound fun to me. It's so much funner to put our, detective caps, be Sherlock Holmes, figure
Take it
out
to court.
everything.
Take it to court.
Exactly, take it to court. Take it to court. Talk, look at that and then say, what am I gonna do to grow? But that is for me. Tell me, what do you think, Iris?
This is so awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. A growth mindset is becoming the adult that leaks your thoughts and your emotions. That your emotions are there to guide you, but not there to decide how you will behave or the decision that you're going to make. Um, is learning from your experience, being curious, like, as you said, and asking questions, um, because the word itself, a growth mindset, it means that you're growing, that you are evolving, that you are not looking at things the way you used to look at it or the way you learn it. It's actually becoming the adult in your life,
Yes.
becoming your responsible. Like the topic that we have a few weeks ago, that you said, when your thought comes or your emotion comes and you just say, well, try to numb it. It's like telling a child, I don't want to hear you now. So when you have a growth mindset, you value your emotions, you value your thoughts, and you dissect them. You break them open like an onion and get curious and see, what is it that's teaching me?
Mhm. Yeah.
Grow. You become the adult.
You know what's funny? I've worked in HR for a long time. And one time I was working with a team member and he would get into arguments with people. And of course, HR has to go and talk and, hey, you gotta be respectful, blah, 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 right? You have to have that conversation. And he would always, well, she looked at me funny, or he did this, right? It would always be like that, blame, 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 blame.
Child's mind.
Yes. And so of course, well, we'll investigate that piece because, of course, in HR, you have to investigate everything and give everybody their time, which is important. And I don't want to put down HR because I like it. No, but one time I had a conversation with him and I said, look, because we had moved him to different departments, we had moved him here and there, and issues every time, right? So when the issues everywhere, issues probably here. So I said, okay,
I
let's
know
let's
about that.
let's look at it a little bit. And I love, Iris, what you said a few seconds ago, which is not letting your emotions kind of take a hold, but actually analyzing and not letting, just because you have that emotion, that doesn't mean that your behavior has to go that route, right? Because that's what happened to him. He would feel the person saying this or looking at him funny or whatever, and then he would yell and scream and do negative behaviors.
Can you
And laugh.
imagine that every time we feel anger, we just start punching people like when we were children, or breaking things, or
Tantruming
yelling, or
to me.
can you
It's just
imagine?
and I remember sitting down with him and I said, look, if somebody looks at you funny, or if somebody says something like this, or even if somebody yells, what's another approach you can take? What's another thing you can do?
Yeah.
I'm not snitch. I'm not gonna tell HR. I'm like, I'm not saying snitching. I'm not saying that. But what's just another approach you can take? And he literally had never had that thought in his head. What's another thing I can do? He's like, well, I can just hold it in. Okay, but where's that going to lead to, right? Like we know we've tried that route. So
Mm-hmm.
what else? What else can you do, right? And he's like, well, I guess I could just tell them I don't like it.
That's beautiful. That was
I'm done.
better than hold it in now.
And I was like, wow. I was like, that sounds actually like a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I said, it takes time, but I said, why don't you try it? Instead of yelling and screaming, coming into it with a different mindset. Again, all I was teaching was growth mindset, right? Like looking at the problem, looking at what you can do
Mm-hmm.
to fix it instead of blame and yell and just react. So
Yeah.
it's that action versus reaction, right?
Yeah.
It's about how do I grow from this situation?
Which is
And how,
what leads you to suffering. When you
yeah,
blaming and you reacting and you just dismissing how you feel to blame somebody else,
yeah.
and then you
And
suffer.
sometimes it's easier to blame ourselves
Mm-hmm. Oh
because
yeah.
at least even if I'm blaming me, I have a semblance of control and I have somebody to punish.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so tired of that word punishment, but
I hate that word. You have no idea how I hate the word punishment.
and it's one of those things that it doesn't.
It
I
has
was
not helped humanity at all.
and it's funny because I was even talking about this with somebody recently. If your kid, you tell them not to play with this, they play with that, they break it, and you send them to the corner, or you give them a spanking, whichever way you go, is sending them to the corner fixing the problem.
Exactly.
Is giving them a spanking fixing the problem.
Exactly.
Because the thing is still on the floor, it's broken, and somebody's got to clean it up.
And you're just putting fear inside this child, and the idea who loves me also punish me, also
Or
hurts me.
yeah, or just period. Punishment is it's what you do. If you do something wrong, you get punished instead of if you do something wrong, you gotta clean it up.
Yeah,
If
you
you
have
do something wrong, you
consequences.
gotta fix it.
Exactly.
Then now we're going into accountability.
Exactly.
And this is something that I'm big with. What do you have to do so this doesn't happen again?
Exactly.
And sometimes I will admit it, I'm not the perfect parent. Sometimes I'll
I'm
yell
not
at you
either.
in your room and all that fun
And
stuff
I
because
yell.
I'm so angry. But then I'm reacting, right? But then, sometimes I calm myself down and I'm like, hey, Milady, what do you have to do so this doesn't happen again? So I come to it with a growth mindset. And I'm
Exactly.
trying to teach as much as possible. My
I
little
learned
girl,
to ask for forgiveness.
ask for forgiveness from your kids, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, and come teach children about growth mindset, I think is so important. It's
Yes.
okay to fail. With growth mindset, we have to remember that it's okay to fail.
You just reminded me. I used to tell the humans that I birthed when they were children, you have the right to feel upset. You have the right to feel angry. But what you don't have the right is to disrespect me, to yell or curse or anything like that. But please, if you feel angry, you have the right to do so. And I
Yeah.
am here and I'm sorry that you're feeling angry. I might not change the consequence of what happened. I will even have them write the consequences of behavior, patterns that they will have. And then let's see what is it that you say that the consequence will be. Before it was the word punishment because we didn't know better, right?
Yeah.
But it was them. They determined what was the consequence of their action. So they
Yeah.
can learn from it and become and evolve and not stay stuck in that little, tiny little
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. And so remembering that for ourselves, a lot of times when we are in a situation, we don't come at it from a growth mindset. We come at it from a punishment, from a blame, from a who it is, right? Because it gives us a semblance of control.
Correct.
Um, and a growth mindset takes a little bit more work,
Oh,
right?
yes, it does. A lot of patience
A lot of patience and a
because
lot
we're
of
not used to it, because the system that we grew up supports punishment. We believe
yeah,
that punishment leads to the behavior that we want. And yes, it does. but it's just temporary, and it's out of fear, not out of understanding really
And
what.
growth. Yeah, it's not
Exactly.
coming out of growth. So
Exactly.
growth mindset, embrace it, be open to it, be curious. It's okay to fail as long as you keep trying.
Mhm.
That's part of growth mindset. Growth mindset says if you fail, that is okay. That doesn't mean you give up. We try different ways.
Failing is giving up, but as long as you try, even if it doesn't work out the first, the third, the second. It was what? How many time Thomas Edison to create a light bulb to
Oh
function?
yeah, it's over 1,000 times, and he had people working
Exactly.
with him. It was so interesting. His story is just amazing, by the way. But
Incredible.
yeah, but yes, it takes time. It takes
It
time to
takes
get things
time.
right and find your group, which we'll talk about in different videos. But yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about this. And Iris, talk a little bit about the summits. The dates always fall out of my head. So, what are the dates for our summit?
Get ready. March the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th of this year. So only what? Less than 2 months from now.
Yeah.
Women to Wholeness Summit is all for you. What else is going to be there, Milady?
Yes, we're gonna have a wonderful 9 speakers. The best ones are gonna be on the third day. No, I'm joking. We have wonderful 9 speakers. Iris and I will be on the last day. That's why I said that. But we have wonderful 9 speakers. We have amazing topics.
Juliet.
Iris topics is yes. With Juliet, you got it. Iris has an amazing topic. We have topics on
Milady
the.
has an incredible topic. You don't want to miss this. You
You
do
do not
not
want
want
to
to
miss.
miss this.
We're gonna have people talking about reading food labels and nutrition. We're gonna have different
Bodies
topics
and
each day.
mind.
Yes, what is it? Sorry, say it again.
Minds and body. Minds and body.
Minds and bodies, right? It's about wholeness. So with
Wholeness.
wholeness, we're looking at a whole, of course, right? As a whole. So please, please, please come. I cannot wait to see everybody. We're gonna have VIP, and then we're gonna have also free. It's gonna be online. So please click on the link. It's gonna be both on the chat and on the description. If you cannot find the link, just throw a comment in the chat, and I will put it underneath your comment. That way you see it quicker. Please, please, please let us know what you think about our wonderful topic with growth mindset. And then also, are you excited for the summit? Because I know we are.
I'm so excited.
And we can't wait to see also your thoughts on this one. So have a wonderful day.
Be good to yourself. A growth mindset.
Yeah, growth mindset. Have a good one.
Bye.